You guys, I'm Truzuo, and today we're reacting to the Odyssey. I got a bad feeling about this one. This one is about Christopher Nolan's new movie, The Odyssey, and this is by Critical Drinker. I've seen a couple of videos of his in the past, but I want to hear his thoughts about this because Christopher Nolan is, one of like the major directors for all these crazy movies. So I want to see why he thinks this is going to be a bad movie or has a bad feeling about it. So let's see.
If there's one genre I'd love to see make a serious comeback, it's the historical epic.
That's true, dude. Like Gladiator, dude, so good. And then the second one, oh my god, I don't know why they just make sequels to movies nowadays. They just don't need a sequel. Like Gladiator is just good, like in general. I don't know why there's nothing more that needed to be told, I don't think, But I mean, hey, it's gonna bring them more money, but it's like if you're gonna do it, just do it right, You have good source material, whatever it might be, just don't mess it up. And then I feel like just when they mess it up, it's like then it just ruins the whole point of their original movie that it was made years prior. That was like everyone like loved and enjoyed. You know what I mean? But I love this era of stuff.
And sandals, gods and monsters, battles.
Another thing. When I was growing up, Percy Jackson was one of my favorite books I've ever read. I never liked reading books, but I read all of the Percy Jackson books. I think I still have them somewhere. But that's one of my favorite series I ever read, was all of that. And then the movies were not terrible, but they weren't great either. And then they rebooted the series like when he was a kid, and it's just not good. The acting is so bad. All this stuff it's not great. It's just so mid. I still think the movies are better than the new show that came out. But I feel like the show covers more material of Percy Jackson. But I just think it's just done poorly.
Adventures, legendary warriors, and terrifying
That is
villains.
true.
I mean, Hollywood's flirted with the idea from time to time over the past couple of decades, some more successful than others.
Yep.
Don't worry though, 300, you'll always have a special place in
That
my
is true.
heart.
This is Sparta!
Legendary.
But it seems
Cinema.
like this year, things might finally be changing. Christopher Nolan has turned his gigantic quantum space brain away from discovering the secrets of the universe and assembled one of the biggest
God
all-star
damn.
casts in modern Hollywood.
Damn, this cast is stacked. Matt Damon's and Dana. I don't know nothing about the movie, by the way. Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, John Berthel. They got like everybody. They got the Punisher. They got Spider-Man. They got the Martian up in here. They got Batman. God damn. They got Travis Scott, Ryan Hurst. God damn.
Hollywood for The Odyssey, a retelling of Homer's epic saga about the Greek king Odysseus and his decade-long journey to get home to his family after fighting in the Trojan Wars for another 10 years.
I'm not very well versed in mythology or any of like the old Greek and whatever and like the gods. I know about them. I know like some stuff about it. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Meanwhile, his wife has to keep the home fires burning and contend with the unwanted advances of men who want the crown. It's actually kind of hilarious when you look at all this on a map, because a journey from Troy to Ithaca is only like 500 miles by sea, and it should have taken him a couple
fairly
of weeks,
long, though.
But man, the gods just had it in for that fucking guy.
Hey, I'm home.
Look who the fates dragged in.
Anyway, stories don't get much more epic than The Odyssey. It truly is one of the great adventures in human history, blending together mythology, religion, monsters, and the unbreakable determination of the human spirit. And bringing it to life on screen is a challenge
just look at this time period. Look at the armor and everything. Dude, it's so sick and badass.
Strain the very limits of modern filmmaking. But now that I've seen the trailer and I've considered the artistic vision behind this movie, I have to say my reaction was... meh. I don't know what it is, man. There's just something...
I mean, it's just movies nowadays. Like, there's no movie that will captivate people like it did in the olden times, I feel like in the 2000s and early 2000s. I feel like some of the best movie trailers and stuff like that were so in the past. Nowadays, it's like they spoil the whole movie. The movie just doesn't hit the same. They get some rap music over some, like, random, like, video that doesn't make any sense for it. You just have things that are just not... like the Mandalorian Grogu trailer. I am one of the biggest Mandalorian fans. The first 2 seasons, amazing. Third season, actual trash. Book of Boba Fett literally was season 3.5. And now they're making a movie that doesn't really feel like it needs a movie because there's no real threat that they're trying to solve, because they brought Grogu back from Luke. I feel like they should have just left Grogu with Luke, and then done a whole story about that, and then they had like Thrawn and stuff. It's like I feel like everything with Star Wars too is just they have all the source material and they have blundered it time after time after time. So all these movie trailers, it's like people are just sick and tired of trash. Like, how about you just honor the source material or make a good movie that actually makes sense and has stuff that people want to see?
This movie that doesn't quite stir anything in me, which is pretty surprising because in theory at least it's got all the ingredients for
success. The director, the cast,
kind of source material that's practically
the source material, like I said,
with filmmaking, the kind of all-star cast that only comes together once in a generation, and a director with a mostly good track record
it is
as
true.
a filmmaker. So why the fuck does it feel so bland?
Well,
to try and answer this, let's take a closer look at those key elements again, shall we?
I don't know anything about it, so
source material. Nothing wrong there, right?
Wrong.
Okay.
Well, the problem is that the Odyssey was originally written in ancient Greek, obviously, meaning that it has to be translated into English for it to be legible. And what kind of story you ultimately get very much depends on which translation.
So based on the translation, okay. So people have different interpretations of how all the events and whatnot. Okay. So I'm assuming just by the way he sounded it, Christopher Nolan picked a bad interpretation.
Version you reads. In this case, Christopher Nolan has publicly stated that he's a big fan of the 2017 adaptation.
Guys. I can just by the sound of that, 2017. That seems very recent. I would expect like maybe 1990s or something like that, or something like early 2000s. 2017. I feel like that this has got to be a troll, right? I mean, maybe. Let's see.
Of the Odyssey, which was translated from Greek by British writer Emily Wilson.
Okay.
Why exactly does that matter? Well, because Emily Wilson just so happens to be a hardcore progressive feminist who specifically set out to rewrite.
Oh my God. Okay. So they basically are adapting something from someone who doesn't have a foundation. I don't know what I'm looking for here. Doesn't have a reputation to be fair, is what I'm trying to say, probably. And probably, skews things to different sides and written it in different light, or maybe change things that shouldn't be chosen or changed about the story. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen based on how she's affiliated. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but people can judge you just as much. So let's see.
Sorry, reimagine Homer's text.
That's what they did with Snow White, with that one, what was it, Rachel Ziegler or whatever the heck was with Disney, and that shit flopped. It's like, dude, how about you just stick to what is being like presented in the old text or whatever it's being transcribed originally? Like, why are we changing shit? Like, so much shit in movies in like lore is given to you, and all you have to do is remake the movie and just fill in the blanks. It's like you don't have to rewrite it to change everything. People want to see what they know is in all the shit, like all the lore. Like most people that are like Star Wars fans like Star Wars because of the lore of what's his name, the person who wrote Star Wars in the beginning. I'm blanking on the name right now. But when he sold that, and then whatever her face is of Disney that just stepped down, she changed everything when wrote The Acolyte and all that shit. It's like no one wants to see that. People want to watch something that they know is going to be good because they've read the books, they know the history, they know the lore, and then when you change the shit, it doesn't hit the same. Especially when it's done very badly.
Coded, gender
and then you lose money.
Postmodernist lens. Because of course she did. Basically stretching the very limits of the original text to bend it around modern sensibilities.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you... Nothing... 2017 and whatever happened in this Greek mythology lore in the Odyssey has nothing to do with anything today. Like, sure, you might have connections and like points of like how things relate, like, cultures or whatever it be, and values, but it's like that doesn't make any sense.
It's the same kind of creeping, cloying, well, I think what he really meant to say here was bullshit. Interpreting
people's words that you can't even talk to anymore is this brain dead. Like, why would you try to like interpret what someone's saying when it's, the story's been, translated and, transcribed, so you don't know if it's actually that. It's like, No, dude, why would you do that?
They gave us 2026's Animal Farm, a story that went from a parable about the
I don't think I've ever
Russian
seen this.
Revolution to a ridiculous, shallow, capitalism bad piece of Hollywood
Oh my God.
slop. That is the version we're likely
I mean,
to
that's
get here
all
with
these
its
movies
gender
nowadays.
identity navel gazing, and if that doesn't raise a few red flags, then let's take a closer look at that all-star cast, shall we? Now, Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway are solid enough as the
I mean, yeah, Matt Damon's one of the GOAT actors, I think, for me, in terms of some of the movies he's been in that I've watched and I really liked. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time in terms of an actor, but just saying some of the movies that I liked, or he's been in them, like The Martian, Interstellar. He's been in some other ones too, but it's like he's good in his role.
I mean, if I was to be
Anne Hathaway, she's been in some good movies. I think she was in Batman, right? I didn't mind her Catwoman. I just think the way they ended everything with Batman is just like, as this DC's problem. I mean, that shit was cooked. I mean, but now it seems to be on track, but who knows? But I mean, her new movie, was it Devil's Prada 2 or whatever? I mean, I feel like that movie was pretty mediocre. I haven't seen the first one, but I've seen the second one. I don't know why I watched it, but I did, but I didn't think her performance was that great either. But I mean, she's a good actor. She's better than most, I would say.
Well, the last
Robert Pattinson, I don't know how I feel about that either. I mean, I think he plays a decent Batman. I mean, I guess.
She was in a Christopher Nolan movie, and she was arguably the worst thing about Interstellar, but that's a conversation for another day. I can't say I'm ever particularly excited by an Anne Hathaway project, but holy shit, is she making a comeback this year? In 2026 alone, she's in 5 separate...
Wow, 5 movies, damn. I don't think I've seen... I've watched this one the other day. And yeah, it was not very good, in my personal opinion. I wasn't a fan. I would say it's more of a girl movie, like girl values and like tendencies and like storylines and stuff like that. Overall, I mean, I didn't think it was like it was written bad or anything like that. I just wasn't my cup of tea. But yes. A lot of movies.
Movie projects, one of which is playing in the cinemas right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of overexposed actors that use a break from, Zendaya is in this movie as Athena, the goddess of wisdom.
Yeah, she's in a lot of shit. And I mean, not to hate or anything, I don't think her acting is crazy. I don't think any role she's played, like Spider-Man, I think she's just a mid MJ. Like, sorry to say it, I love Spider-Man. Tom Holland is not my favorite Spider-Man, but it's like, is her MJ is gotta be, I think, the worst out of the 3 MJs. I mean, we had Gwen. I think Mary Jane, if you were just gonna compare those two, it's just Mary Jane every day in the first original trilogy of Spider-Man. And then I think Gwen is just the better actor that played in the Spider-Man universe, in my opinion. I think she had added more value and everything in all the movies compared to them with Andrew Garfield than Mary Jane with Toby's. And then MJ's is just like, she's just there. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, though. I don't know. But she's been in a lot of shit, and I don't know how she keeps getting hired to these roles.
Holy fuck, man. This girl's become the female equivalent of Pedro Pascal.
That is true, dude. Pedro Pascal, dude, Mandalorian, and then just everything with Star Wars, and then him being literally in everything, dude. It's like, holy, like, he's like Chris Pratt. He was in Jurassic Park, then he was in Marvel. It's like, dude, and now he's in the Mario movie. It's like, dude, enough is enough, man. You gotta pick and choose your movies. It's like everything you're in is just a major blockbuster film that's supposed to be like really good.
Oh, she is just everywhere all of a sudden, and for the life of me, I cannot understand why.
Yeah, me neither.
I have never seen a single Zendaya performance in my life and thought, oh my god, she absolutely carried this movie. Tell me.
I mean, I don't think she's been the main like character in a movie that I've watched or seen her in. She's always like the second or 10th person that's in the movie that's, popular. You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand how she gets these roles again.
Zendaya expression, the angry frown, the confused frown, or the confused angry frown.
That is true.
Yes.
Yeah,
Elliot
Star
Page is
Wars. I
also
mean,
in this movie. As what exactly? I don't fucking know. A drummer boy, maybe? Page is like 5 feet tall and weighs 90 pounds soaking wet, so I don't really see how they're going to fit in amongst
I don't know.
all those
I don't
big
remember
Greek
her from
soldiers and
anything.
terrifying monsters. Lupita Nyong'o is widely rumored to be playing the Greek princess Helen of Troy, which, if it turns out to be true, would make about as much sense as Papa Asuido playing Severus Snape. But hey,
Okay.
what can I say?
Oh, wait. I'm assuming they changed the race of the character, the gender. I don't know nothing about. Don't flame me. I don't know anything about the story or anything. So I'm assuming just by the way he's comparing it to Snape or whatever, they did something with the character and changed it in some way that doesn't honor the original text or something. That's what I'm gonna assume. That's another thing. Like, why would you change source material? Like, people want to see the character as is in the comics or the lore or whatever, they're basing the movie off of. It's like, people expect the person to be a certain way, and then when the character is portrayed in a different way, usually it ends badly. Usually there's very rare cases where the character is done differently and people like it more. So it's like, why would you risk that, especially with such a big budget and stuff, especially if it's like a main plot point? It's like, that's not a very good idea.
Hollywood, baby.
Thank you, Rachel. But the thing that stood
her
out
movie
for
was
me about the entire cast in this trailer was just how bland and mundane they all look and sound.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer, so I can't really, say it was, but I mean, I can take your word for it.
Every time I saw one of them, all I thought was, oh yeah, there's Robert Pattinson, there's Charlize Theron, there's Tom
That's a lot of
Holland.
trailers nowadays. There's not really like things that captivate me anymore that are like, holy shit, I gotta go watch this movie.
Life mythical figures of legend that should be leaping from the pages of Homer's epic to amaze us
Dude,
all.
look at that battle, though. The scale is crazy.
Subdued and underwhelming, and a big part of that decision is to have them speak with American accents using modern terminology.
Yeah.
My dad is coming.
Oh, your dad's coming back, is he?
Okay, that's just weird. Like, I know you have to speak English, because they're not going to speak Greek or have it like translated or whatever. But it's like, why wouldn't you adapt to their norms and like speak in their like certain ways that would make sense? I don't know why you would do that. I feel like they'd be calling him father or something like that. Just, off the top of my head, I don't know nothing about it or so.
He takes some bitchin' selfies. Hope he didn't get godmogged along the way. There's a reason movies like this traditionally use theatrical English and formalized language for their dialogue. It gives them a sense of grandeur, seriousness, and dramatic weight that naturally lend itself to the epic story they're trying to tell. Having your actors talk like they just walked in off the street in downtown LA just feels weirdly lazy and immersion breaking. And before anyone chimes in with little pearls of wisdom like, Drinker, you know as well as I do they would have spoken Greek in a story like this.
That's
why
what I'm
does
saying.
It even matter what accents they use? Well, hypothetical straw man, we all know the language they would have spoken, but we also know that having your entire cast learn a whole new language,
yeah, that's true. You don't want something that'd take way too long.
3 hours of subtitles is neither practical nor logical.
Yeah, that's
that
not happening.
You have to go in completely the other direction and give us shit like this.
Okay, that is very bad. Let's go. I feel there's like no emotion to it. I feel like there's no like tonality change at all. You just saying let's go. Like, hey, let's go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. You just screamed it. That's about it.
And this all brings me back to the man at the center of all of this, Christopher Nolan, the director and writer.
Okay.
Now, I know the man has a fan base so rabidly loyal that they
that is true.
Look like fucking normies, and he's given us some fascinating films to chew
That
over
is
in
true.
his time. But I'll be honest here, the guy can also be his own worst enemy at times.
Oh.
Sometimes he really is just too smart for his own
I don't know what. I know he did. I think he's done Avatar. He did Oppenheimer. He's done Interstellar and all this shit, so...
Rightly or wrongly, he's developed a reputation as a clinical, intellectual, and slightly sterile kind of director. A master of ideas who can't seem to wrap his head around simple humanity. And I get the impression that's always chafed at him, especially with his more recent movies where it feels like he's got something to prove. Like the weirdly...
Yeah, trying to prove something through something is just, I don't know. It's like, just make it how it is. I feel like he's a good enough director that he knows better, but I feel like people just, get skewed. I mean, that's just life, I guess, though.
Love scenes in Oppenheimer that feels like two androids.
I'm gonna say something crazy. I thought Oppenheimer was okay. I didn't think it was, great in any particular way. I think I think the acting though was amazing though. For majority of it was really good, and like the weight of everything. I just didn't feel like, wowed, you know, like I think some of the scenes were cool and whatnot, but that's just how I felt. I don't know. Maybe there's other people that feel different about it and thought it was like amazingly god tier, but I'm like, I don't know. I didn't feel any different way after leaving or like, you know, watching the movie.
Replicating their understanding of a human relationship. The man definitely has a niche, but character-driven historical epics don't seem to be it. And with Odyssey, it's like he's saying, see, there's more to me than sci-fi thrillers and slightly overrated superhero movies. And I don't know, man, from the casting to the dialogue to the bleak washed-out cinematography, I can't shake the feeling that he just isn't the right man to direct a movie like this.
Ooh.
I mean, shit, maybe I'm totally wrong on this one.
You could be. Yeah.
Odyssey will be the crowning achievement in Nolan's career and raking more money than Avatar.
Wow.
Or maybe it'll turn
I'll give him one thing. The costumes look sick. And I just saw Berthal, whoever who plays Punisher. I mean, he like has a full shaven head or whatever. It looks sick.
Personal albatross. Time, as always, will tell. But I'll be interested to see how it pans out one way or the other.
I will too.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is nowadays in today's market with movies. I feel like all the trailers either spoil the movie, like I said, they're just bland. They have rap music or some form of music or media that plays over the trailer that doesn't make any sense or correlate to anything that they're being told or like the themes throughout the movie. And then they have the movie, and then there's also music that don't make sense. It's like all these movies that are releasing nowadays, you know, they don't have any connection or, you know, foundation that they keep throughout the movie. They switch up. There's no like meaningful impact at the end. It's just bland. It's just like, I made a movie to make a movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's not really movies that like captivate me to go see it in theaters nowadays. Like, I'll go see it if I can see it with like, you know, friends, family or whatnot, you know, I'll go see it. But it's like nowadays it's like all these movies are just in it for the money. Like all these TV shows, Star Wars, down in the gutter. I think there's an article or something that they're going to like completely rewrite off all the new sequel trilogy for Star Wars and redo it because it was so bad and they can't do anything because they put them in a bind where they can only be from a certain time period to whenever they started sequels. And so it's like, dude, why would you even like make it in the first place if you know it's going to fuck your whole plan up for the vision of Star Wars? So like Marvel, at least, you know, they can go back in time, rewrite things and stuff like that. I'm completely sure Star Wars is going to just write it off and like do it like some time loop shit and, you know, make it so that they can actually make more movies again. Because if not, they have to go in the past, which people would enjoy. But it's like the whole future of all those characters you built up over the original trilogy is like you can't do anything with them. They're just gone. Because the way you know, with Rey Skywalker and everything like that, it's like completely shit. But I mean, you know, we'll see with the Odyssey. I mean, I can, you know, Christopher Nolan is a good director, but I mean, let's see if his viewpoints and whatnot have, you know, changed over the years and made it any different. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of the Odyssey. Will you be seeing it? I think I'll give it a chance just because I like the tonality and like the time period it's in. So we'll see. I'll maybe give you guys a review of it. But yeah, we'll see. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.